Hi, I'm Jas. Traffic, traffic, traffic. The third worst traffic in Southeast Asia. And where can we find this? Let me give you a clue. The initials for this is M and M. And no, it's not the chocolate, but the place of Metro Manila. According to a study done by Boston Consulting Group in 2017, an average of 66 minutes per day is being wasted because of Metro Manila traffic, making it the third worst traffic in Southeast Asia. But why do we have traffic? Traffic is produced due to a lot of causes, and let me enumerate these.
Basic road etiquette is not followed. Jaywalking and ignorance on parking are done, and dropping zones, traffic lights are not being followed. The number of inconsiderate drivers and pedestrians are also growing. There have been several forms of corruption in the Philippines, including the infamous pork barrel scam. Corruption has led to the negative effects on the country, such as infrastructure problems, and of course, corrupt officials.
And how much does the Philippines lose? A whopping 3.5 billion pesos a day. If we use this for Sir Ramon's favorite Dunkin' Donuts coffee, he can precisely have 53,846,153 Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Imagine! This is not just the case. It can lead to underperformance and overfatigue for Filipinos.
According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, about half of the 37 million employed Filipinos travel through the main roads of the city to get to their workplace in business districts.
As we said earlier, one of the major issues related to Metro Manila traffic is the rampant corruption of government officials. According to Villar in 2017, in an article published by Business Mirror, another reason would be the influx of new cars. Another big issue that contributes to this is that the government policies are not properly implemented and that there's a lack of it. Although the Build project is ongoing,
We have yet to see the results until these great infrastructure projects get finished. Thus, for the meantime, the traffic enforcers, pedestrians, and drivers alike have to take alternative courses of action.
For pedestrians, the most basic thing is to be obedient and to be aware of the rules.
It is not uncommon to see people crossing on undesignated areas or to see people crossing over the fence just to avoid walking up the overpass.
For drivers, obedience is the key.
Just because there is no enforcer does not mean that there are no rules as well. A red light without a traffic officer does not mean a green light.
For the authorities, what's fundamental is for them to fix the system.
However, the smallest problem should not be the only priority. It's the big government department themselves, MMDA, LTO, DOTR, and LTFRB, among others, that have to fix their system first in order to enhance and ease the traffic in Metro Manila.
So what does Rizal have to do with this? A lot. Given that the Filipinos have the attitudes that contributes to traffic, this only shows their indifference to the country's problems. In the Noli, Ibarra's character shows this because he didn't know what was happening in his own country, since he lived in another country.
In the case of Filipinos in traffic, they are ignorant when it comes to designated dropping zones, not caring about causing even more traffic. He hates it, but it is caused by himself. Next, being indifferent to your fellow Filipinos is seen in Ibarra's character in the Noli chapter 61, wherein Elias pointed out the possible negative effects on the less fortunate when he proceeds with the revolution. When attempting to solve traffic, government officials would not look at the whole scope. They usually put their own intentions first before the good of others.
This is selfish.
Into the youth of the Philippines and love of country, Rizal pointed out how the educated did not use their skills to improve their country. Again, this leads us back to the second point. Sadly, this is not only present in our government officials, but also in commuters and drivers.
They know the basic rules of the street, but they still have this walang pake attitude, or meaning they don't care. Another point why there's no progress in our infrastructure is because of corruption.
Just like in Tashi's statement in Noli Me Tangere, our young men do not think of anything else than having affairs and pleasures. They spend more time and work harder to deceive and disgrace a young woman than to think of the good of their own country. This is where the pork barrel scam falls.
Bukas ba ang iyong mga mata? Alam mo naman talaga na kailangan ka magpakita ng pagbabago sa Pilipinas, yeah. Gusto yun ni Rizal, yeah. Gusto yun ni Rizal, isang responsabling Pilipino, yeah. Responsabling Pilipino. Pilipino, yeah. Isang responsableng Pilipino. Responsableng Pilipino, yeah. Isang responsableng Pilipino. Wow, traffic palagi sa Manila. Problema ng Pilipinas, palagi na lang pinabalita. Nakakabahala siya, kayang Pinoy sobrang magalit, pero di naman tumitingin sa sarili. May problema naman din siya, Pinoy magbago ka na. Always traffic in Metro Manila, walang paking driver at pedestrian. Gitgit ng gitgit, jiwok ng jiwok sa kalsada. Sabi ni Rizal doon pa man sa Noli, unahin iba kaysa sarili. Lagi sa isip, makinig tayong lahat kay Pepe. Pinoy, bukas pa ang iyong mga mata. Alam mo naman talaga na kailangan kang magpakita ng pagbabago sa Pilipinas, yeah. Gusto yun ni Rizal, yeah. Gusto yun ni Rizal, isang responsableng Pilipino, yeah. Responsableng Pilipino, yeah. Isang responsableng Pilipino. Responsableng Pilipino, yeah. Isang responsableng Pilipino.